Good afternoon. All right. Well, it's been a few days and I have done quite a bit of things trying to keep myself busy because that's all you can do when you're waiting for certain things to happen. Last time we spoke, I was telling y'all about the 10 top tips for grant writing. Yep, see, looks like I got a little rest, don't it? I did, but I got a little bit of a sniffle, so bear with me. Anyway, there's the private grant opportunities that we have to take care of when you are interested in getting a grant. And then there are the public. Good old grants.gov. Now, there is an application process for grants.gov, and there's 4 steps. Yeah, not 10 like in private. In private, they want you to have a whole lot of things. But basically what you really need for a private grant application to be successful, even after everything that you've done that you know is right, they want you to have, and write this down, a 501c3. And if you don't have one, you need to get in touch with somebody and become their friend and their partner so that you can have one. Because that is, in my opinion, the thing that is going to make getting your grant so much easier. The process of any application can be tedious, but when you have all their little ducks in a row, and most of them do want you to have a 501c3, then the opportunities for you to have the grant that you desire are really going to start falling in your favor. Now, for grants.gov, the first process is to download the grant application and then complete the grant application package and then submit a completed application package. Yeah, I'm still in the book. And then keep checking on your application status. That's the 4 steps, and there's little things inside of it. But if you really want to know about all the rest of that, I just went to grants.gov. And like I said before, just go through the process. These sniffles are not going to go away. They don't want to. Anyway, after that, and it was a lot of after that, I went back to funding apps, and I started looking up things that mattered to me. You know, I was saying I couldn't find very many applications that had anything to do with writing grants. And I did find 4. That's right, only 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to find the page right now because I had it in front of my little face. And that's what happens when you're, I think it's like on page 7. Oh yeah, some of the earlier stuff I did, I said, let me just go ahead and take care of that right now. And nope, that's not it either. I know it's here, and that's the problem. When you have a whole lot, oh my goodness, of people to go through. Oh, one thing to remember very much is every state has its own granting organizations, the public ones and the private ones. So if you want a grant from Connecticut, it's best to live in Connecticut. It's best to live in Arizona if you want one from Arizona, Tennessee, so on and so forth. And then just going through the funding apps, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them. And I really just don't want to really go through all of that anymore. Like I said, you also have, I have found 4. I know I did. What I did find out, I'm going to find it and I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. What I did find out is there are grants for women. There are grants for African American women. There are grants for, well, gays and lesbians. And everything is so specific. Find out what it is for you. I went through a college application one time with my daughter, and they said there were grants for people who only did certain things or with their left hand, or who only had green eyes. Grants for people who, you know, have a crooked pinky. So, you know, the whole thing was, for me, was just to find out, well, who do I know that can help me write a grant? So, and it turns out it's just really not that many people who are going to tell you, well, I write grants for people who write books. That's really hard. And it can be very secretive, too. I wasn't too crazy about that thought, so I left that alone. And Just leave it at that. So go to funding applications if you don't want to go through these videos anymore. You know, read all the words. It's a lot of words. It's a lot of pages. That's why I wrote them down, so I wouldn't have to go back to funding apps. I wrote everything down in grants.gov too, because it's tedious. The process is so daunting until you just give up. Because you're a novice. I'm a novice. I know I'm a novice. I don't too many things go over my head. But that kind of stuff was like, it wasn't going over my head. I was like ready to go to sleep. And you spend hours and hours and hours until you find something that's specific to your need for what you want to do. So, and the process is hard. So the next thing I thought, well, that's done. And it's really not done in the sense that I got everything I want out of it, because I didn't. I said, let me move on. And I moved on to, GoFundMe, Kickstarter. Hey, there's plenty of those kind of organizations out there. So what did I do? I went to Kickstarter. Yes, I did. And they have a whole bunch of stuff for you to do. And they said, well, you can limit it to 60 days and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's a trick to everything. Everybody's got their little gimmicks. And if you can gimmick away with them, you good to go. Personally, I'm still working on that whole gimmick thing. I'm usually kind of, don't want to do gimmicks. But I suppose everybody has one. So tomorrow, I'm going to try to find a way to talk y'all about Kickstarter. I still might do it for another project. For this one, I don't know. The problem with me is I think that I am getting a little upset because people just aren't into books like they used to. At least that's what they say. I don't believe it. Because I go to bookstores. And those bookstores are full of people. People buying books. Hardback books. Softback books. They sit in there and they read the books. Not everybody has a Kindle. So don't buy into the hype, Johanna. I try not to. Anyway, I am personally trying to put up a new one today. I went looking for an old one, and I didn't like what I saw, and I thought, hey, wait a minute. Some of this stuff might be in my book that's coming out in 2014 by Tate Publishing. Yes, I am still getting published by Tate Publishing. I am also on Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn. You can find me on a social media if you just go ahead and click, say, Johanna Bright, who is she? And find out who I am. In the meantime, have a wonderful tour around my page today. Look at some old stuff. It's really good. And I'm going to put up some new stuff. Y'all check out this stuff. And have a great day. And enjoy.